I was about to marry my fiancée, whom I had secretly loved for years, but I didn't hesitate to jump out of a building to escape the wedding. It was all because I had been reborn. In my previous life, we were married for over 20 years, and everyone saw us as a model couple. But our beautiful time together came to an abrupt end on our 25th anniversary. She committed suicide, and she did it by dying together with her secret lover. I murmured in front of her tombstone, "Do you regret marrying me?" I knew I wouldn't hear a response, but I answered myself anyway. I regret marrying you. When I woke up again, I was back before the wedding ceremony. I decided to escape the wedding. This time, let's just be strangers who once knew each other very well. Unexpectedly, she found me again, looking terminally ill, and said to me, "I have never regretted marrying you. Whether in this life or the last, the only person I ever wanted to marry was you." I opened my eyes, and someone patted my shoulder. In a daze, I saw the doors open, and Ashley Jenkins, who had been dead for 10 years, stood on the stage in a wedding dress, bathed in the light, looking as pure as an angel descended from heaven. The audience gasped, their amazement drowning out the music. Everyone was praising the bride's beauty. But I broke out in a cold sweat. Someone prompted me to walk towards the bride, a part of the ceremony that I had specifically requested. But now, I just exchanged a glance with Ashley Jenkins on the stage from afar. She curved the corners of her mouth into a smile, but I steeled my resolve, turned, and ran outside. The wedding is cancelled. There's no way I'm going to marry her. The scene instantly erupted into chaos. The grand ballroom was huge, and in my panic, I couldn't find the right exit. Ashley Jenkins's relatives and friends were chasing after me. My future father-in-law looked displeased, frowning at me with dissatisfaction. "Will, the wedding has started. Don't mess around. Go back and complete the ceremony." I shook my head firmly. I never thought I would be reborn, and right at my wedding with Ashley Jenkins. But since fate has given me a second chance, I absolutely cannot marry Ashley Jenkins in this life. A relative earnestly advised, "Whatever it is, you can talk about it after the wedding. Ashley Jenkins is waiting for you." What? Ashley Jenkins is waiting for me? Out of the corner of my eye, I seemed to see a white figure chasing after me, like an arrow urging me to my doom. I didn't hesitate any longer and pushed open a nearby window. I jumped straight from the 3rd floor. Fortunately, there was an awning downstairs to cushion my fall. But when I got up, I still felt a piercing pain. But this pain was nothing compared to the heartache of being deceived by Ashley Jenkins for over 20 years in my previous life. I supported my back and limped away. People from the grand ballroom poked their heads out in horror. "Will, are you crazy? You ran away from the wedding." Ashley Jenkins was also among them, with a trace of anxiety and unease on her face. "Will, what are you doing? What about our wedding if you leave?" If it had been the me from my previous life, I would never have been able to do such a thing. But now, Ashley Jenkins, choosing to marry you was the worst decision I ever made. I've decided to correct this mistake. Remember, I'm the one who doesn't want you. I didn't look at Ashley Jenkins's reaction and hailed a taxi, leaving in a carefree manner. I knew better than anyone that Ashley Jenkins wasn't wearing that snow-white wedding dress for me. The person she wanted to marry wasn't me at all. Memories flooded my mind, and I remembered arriving at the police precinct. The police officer asked me, "Do you have any information about Sean Gallagher, the man who committed suicide with your wife, Ashley Jenkins?" I was so confused and helpless at the time. I spent over 20 years in my previous life, and I couldn't see through this woman. In this life, I could never repeat the same mistake. I wanted to get away from it all, so I took advantage of my fall and checked into St. Mary's General Hospital. My phone kept ringing with various calls, definitely not from people coming to see the fun, but to scold me. I could tell from the text message. "William Morrison, how dare you treat Ashley Jenkins like that?" She passed out from crying. "Come over and apologize to her." I remained non-committal. How could Ashley Jenkins be sad because I ran away from the wedding? She was probably hoping I would leave. In this life, she and Sean Gallagher have a chance to become lovers, and they should thank me for it. I'd say they should kowtow to me when the time comes. Just as I was indulging in my fantasies, the door to the hospital room opened. My mom and your dad, both with angry faces, came into view. William Morrison, you've got some nerve. You can even run away from your wedding and jump out of a building. Who are you trying to embarrass? I didn't expect them to come so quickly. I immediately shrank back and hid under the covers, begging for mercy. Don't scold me, I'm in the hospital. I pitifully showed my bandaged arm, trying to awaken their love for their son. But they just snorted coldly, your injury is your fault. Ashley Jenkins is also in the hospital because of you. You have to take responsibility. Only then did I realize why they came so quickly. I didn't expect Ashley Jenkins to put on such a complete act. That way, no one would suspect that she didn't want to get married either. But then I heard your mom and your dad directly order, as soon as you are discharged, you will hold the wedding with Ashley Jenkins again. I don't want to. My resolute look confused your mom and your dad for a moment. After all, my marriage to Ashley Jenkins was something I had forced. I transferred to Ashley Jenkins's school in my junior year of high school, fell in love with her at first sight, and started a 5-year-long secret love. It wasn't until her family's company fell into crisis that the Jenkins family approached your mom and your dad and proposed a marriage alliance. At the time, I was overjoyed to hear the news, and I put in a lot of effort to get your mom and your dad to agree. But now I'd become a different person. They couldn't accept it for a moment. Why? The question came from a female voice. Your mom and your dad quickly stepped aside, and Ashley Jenkins came into view, already having changed out of her wedding dress and into a hospital gown. Her figure was already slender, but now she looked especially thin, as if the wind could blow her away, tottering as if she would fall at any moment, which made me feel a moment of pity and sadness in my heart. Her eyes were fixed on me, and she asked again, "Why don't you want to marry me?" I frowned, still looking cold-hearted, "Because I don't love you anymore." When Ashley Jenkins heard this answer, her body seemed to lose all its support, and she fell weakly, actually passed out from crying. Your mom and your dad glared at me fiercely and hurried after the nurse to take Ashley Jenkins back to her hospital room. For a moment, I had the urge to follow, but I resisted. I just couldn't figure out when Ashley Jenkins's body had become so weak. Was she acting? After that, your mom and your dad were angry with me and never came to see me again. My friend came to visit me in the hospital room and gave a thumbs up. "You're amazing, you made Ashley Jenkins so angry. Weren't you so fond of her before? You chased her for so long, how could you give up when you were about to get married?" I waved my hand, "It's too easy, I don't want to chase her anymore." "Then next, let me chase you." I looked up and saw Ashley Jenkins, who had been discharged, standing at the door of the hospital room, smiling at me. "I don't want to see you. I issued an eviction order without mercy." She wasn't annoyed either. She walked in with a thermos and started serving me soup. "I cooked some bone broth for you, drink some while it's hot." Seeing that the situation wasn't right, my friend ran away. I was left alone to face Ashley Jenkins. I kept a straight face. Ashley Jenkins held the bowl in front of me, coaxing me like a child, "Smell it, it's so fragrant." A familiar fragrance entered my nostrils. In my previous life, Ashley Jenkins and I were married for over 20 years, and everyone saw us as a model couple. Even I thought so myself. She was considerate in everything, but often missed festivals and anniversaries because she was busy with work, but she would apologize to me and prepare various gifts, all of which were things that I liked or had mentioned casually. Ashley Jenkins, a young lady who never lifted a finger to do housework, even learned how to cook. She always cooked for herself when she was at home. She said she felt sorry for my bad stomach, so she especially learned how to make a soup of all kinds. What I especially liked was this bowl of bone broth. I used to think that this was a sign that she had me in her heart, but later I found out. Thinking of this, the soup in front of me didn't smell so good anymore. I turned my head away. "I don't want to drink it, and I don't want to see you. Get out of here." Ashley Jenkins bit her lip tightly, her whole body trembling, and after a long while, she squeezed out a pale smile. "You don't have an appetite now, I'll put it aside, remember to drink it when you're hungry." I didn't want to listen to her, so I crawled straight under the covers. Ashley Jenkins didn't leave for a long time. There was a rustling sound outside. It wasn't until the door was closed that I poked my head out. The hospital room had been cleaned by Ashley Jenkins, and she had also arranged a bouquet and placed it where I could see it when I looked up. I didn't care. She's good at acting. For the next few days, Ashley Jenkins would report to the hospital room on time in the morning, noon, and evening, bringing carefully prepared food. But I never ate any of it. I ignored her. She would decorate the hospital room, making it as warm and cozy as a home, even faintly resembling the room I had with her in my previous life. This made me feel even more uncomfortable. Taking advantage of Ashley Jenkins's departure, I went through the discharge procedures. Go home. But I was too optimistic. As soon as I got back, Ashley Jenkins came to my house. She diligently massaged your mom's and your dad's backs. Uncle, aunt, if you feel uncomfortable in your shoulders, I can come and massage you at any time. Your mom and your dad glanced at me coming downstairs and said, "Well, just got discharged from the hospital, you can massage him first." Ashley Jenkins immediately looked at me. Her eyes seemed to be full of expectation. There was nothing I didn't understand. I had been sold out by your mom and your dad. I could understand why your mom and your dad were suddenly satisfied with Ashley Jenkins. Before I knew Ashley Jenkins's true colors, I was also blinded by her gentleness and consideration. But what exactly was Ashley Jenkins asking for? I slapped my head in annoyance and remembered that the Jenkins family had come to form a marriage alliance because their company's capital chain had problems. Ashley Jenkins was probably afraid that my family wouldn't help. She was thinking too much. The Jenkins family developed very well after getting through the difficulties in my previous life. This was a worthwhile investment. After understanding this, the way I looked at Ashley Jenkins changed to that of examining an investment target, and I became much more gentle. Seeing that my attitude had softened, your mom and your dad hurriedly pushed Ashley Jenkins towards me. Ashley Jenkins lost her balance and fell towards me like a leaf. I subconsciously hugged her, only to find that her body under her clothes was so thin and weak that T was as light as a feather, as if it would break with a little force. I frowned, meeting Ashley Jenkins's gaze as she looked up. Her face was already flushed with shyness, and her eyes were full of joy. But I was very irritable and pushed her away roughly. Ashley Jenkins swayed for a while before stabilizing herself, but she still looked very happy as she looked at me. Even your mom and your dad gave me meaningful expressions, as if my resistance was just a show of pride. I couldn't stay in this house any longer. I have something to do, I won't be home tonight. I grabbed my phone and walked out. Ashley Jenkins followed me relentlessly. Wherever I went, she followed. I was about to drive, and she was about to pull open the passenger seat. I was impatient. "Stop, can you stop bothering me?" My voice was a little loud. Ashley Jenkins seemed to be frightened, and she stood there frozen, her shoulders trembling uncontrollably. Looking at her weak appearance, I felt even more annoyed. "I know you want my family's funds, don't worry. Even if we don't get married, I will invest. Are you satisfied? If you are satisfied, then leave." Seeing that she didn't respond, I stepped on the gas and drove away. In the bar's private room, people I knew, but not very well, were discussing my affairs. "Will, you're so awesome. You said you didn't want the campus spell you finally got, and you just ran away from the wedding." I knew it. Our Will wasn't that kind of simp. All that before was just acting, just to hook Ashley Jenkins. Ashley Jenkins lost big this time. I'd say it serves her right, who told her to look down on us who liked to have fun before. Now she's being played. Listening to their ridicule, I realized that my escaping the wedding had made Ashley Jenkins a joke in this circle. The halo of the former campus belle and wealthy daughter had been shattered, and anyone could step on her. But I didn't want to participate in their conversation and drank my wine by myself. I.S. Taggered home in the morning with unsteady steps. Your mom and your dad were sitting on the sofa with angry expressions, waiting for me. "You're becoming more and more of a disgrace, drinking all night long. Ashley Jenkins is such a good girl, and you said you didn't want her. You were the one who said you wanted to marry her in the first place. You have to give me a reason today." Hearing your mom and your dad's words, I sobered up a lot. That's right, I was the one who forced it in the first place. It took a lifetime of pain to understand that forced melons are not sweet. My memory returned to the day I heard the news of Ashley Jenkins's death. It was our 25th anniversary, and the day before, I had rarely been assertive in front of Ashley Jenkins. It wasn't for anything else, but just to get her to come back and celebrate our anniversary with me, because that day was also the 30th anniversary of me liking her. "If you don't come back, let's get a divorce." That's what I said at the time. But such a threat should have been ridiculous in Ashley Jenkins's eyes. That night, I waited for her expectantly in the restaurant, but instead received the news of Ashley Jenkins's death. After I hung up the phone, I ran to the police precinct like a madman. Are you Ashley Jenkins's husband? After the police officer confirmed my identity, his eyes were full of sympathy. They told me that Ashley Jenkins had committed suicide, and she did it together with another man named Sean Gallagher, suspected of dying for love. Do you have any information about Sean Gallagher? This was the first time I had heard this unfamiliar name. I shook my head blankly. I found out who Sean Gallagher was at Ashley Jenkins's funeral. Her best friend cried her eyes out in front of her body. If I had known you liked Sean Gallagher, I would have stopped you from marrying William Morrison at all costs. Only then did I know that Sean Gallagher was Ashley Jenkins's senior in college. EY had never broken contact for so many years, and Ashley Jenkins had spent the festivals and anniversaries she had missed with Sean Gallagher. In the end, I was the only one left at the funeral, and I murmured to myself in front of Ashley Jenkins's tombstone, "Ashley Jenkins, do you regret marrying me?" The tombstone wouldn't answer, but I knew the answer. I also regret marrying you. If I had another chance, I would never mess with you again. Thinking of this, my eyes gradually cleared, and I looked at your mom and your dad firmly. There's no way I can get married, and I can't tell you the reason. But I will help the Jenkins family. Your mom finally sighed. You'll regret it. Forget it, we won't care about you, do whatever you want. I went back to bed and slept soundly, and after my energy finally recovered, I sent a text message to Ashley Jenkins, asking her to meet me at the company. Ashley Jenkins came very quickly and was dressed carefully. Her hair was styled in wavy curls, and she was wearing a white dress, as if she were going on a date. Will, you haven't asked me out in a long time. Her face was delicate with a young girl's thoughts, and she pursed her lips shyly. I threw a contract on the table and said in a businesslike tone, I know your family needs $60 million in funds, sign this contract, and I'll give you what you want. But after that, you must never come looking for me again. Ashley Jenkins lowered her head and didn't react. I urged, hurry up. I've already satisfied your request, so don't be greedy. Hearing this, Ashley Jenkins raised her head, her eyes filled with tears. She gritted her teeth and threw the contract at me, then rushed in front of me, grabbed my clothes, and wanted me to look her in the eyes. William Morrison, I'm not asking for investment at all. The only thing I've ever asked for is you. Haven't I made it obvious enough? Her tears fell in large drops, and she punched my chest with her fist, but it didn't hurt at all. We've been married for over 20 years. You've been reborn, so you're bullying your wife like this? You weren't like this in your previous life. My eyebrows furrowed even tighter. I didn't expect Ashley Jenkins to be reborn, too. No wonder. I always felt that there were many inconsistencies about her in this life. She learned how to cook after we got married, too. Since she was also reborn, it would be better to talk about things directly. My face turned completely cold. Don't mention my previous life to me, you know what you did in my previous life. Since you've also been reborn, let's just go our separate ways from now on. I won't delay you from finding your true love, and don't bother me in the name of investment. It's not like that day at the tombstone. Her face was pale, and she wanted to say something more, but she was taken away by the security guards I had called. After finishing everything, I took a flight abroad the next day. On the surface, it was to investigate projects, but in reality, it was to eat, drink, and have fun. In my previous life, I gave up too much for Ashley Jenkins. I knew she was busy, so I could only accommodate her time, so I rarely went out to travel, and rarely participated in normal activities with friends, just so I could see myself as soon as Ashley Jenkins had time to come home. Even if she was always too busy to come back on holidays and anniversaries, I always made excuses for her. It was precisely because it was a holiday that everyone was resting. She should work even harder so she could always be one step ahead of everyone else. Everything was for the better development of the company. This was her dream. I lived like this for over 20 years, deceiving myself in the illusion of Ashley Jenkins loving me. Once I woke up from the dream, I realized how ridiculous I was. Why should I waste my good time on a woman? But no matter how much I avoided hearing news about Ashley Jenkins, there were always Less people sharing it in the group, intending to see her make a fool of herself. Monday. Ashley Jenkins is pretending to run to the Morrison family every day to show her hospitality. Arwell doesn't want her anymore and has run away abroad. She's pestering your mom and your dad. How shameless is Ashley Jenkins? Tuesday. Ashley Jenkins accompanied Will's mom and your dad to a banquet. She's completely treating herself as a Morrison family daughter-in-law. Are aunt and uncle being deceived by her? Wednesday. Ashley Jenkins came to the club that Will often comes to. Is she trying to find our Will, or is she trying to find a new man? Thursday. Ashley Jenkins seems like a crazy woman, looking everywhere for Will's whereabouts, but no one is willing to tell her. It's all her fault. The news stopped for 2 days. The Gossip King came out again to report Ashley Jenkins's news, and she was in the hospital again. But no one in the group sympathized. Here we go again, Ashley Jenkins is in the hospital again and again and again. Is she acting, trying to make Arwell feel sorry for her and come to her? She's so scheming. I looked at the messages that were quickly swiped away and fell into silence. Since Ashley Jenkins was also reborn, why didn't she seize the time to make up for the regrets of her previous life and have a bittersweet love affair with Sean Gallagher? Why was she always looking for me? The first payment had already been transferred to the Jenkins family's account. Could it be that Ashley Jenkins didn't like this money and wanted more? In my previous life, after Ashley Jenkins and I got married, the Morrison family's money was her money, and I almost gave Ashley Jenkins full authority to handle it. That volume was not comparable to a mere 60 million. If Ashley Jenkins were reborn, her appetite would only be bigger now. As for being sick and hospitalized, I knew her body better than anyone else. As long as she didn't try to kill herself, it would be easy for her to live to her 60s or 70s. She was just acting now. I went to Europe for another month, and my heart went wild, but your mom repeatedly ordered me to come back, so I had to go back to the country in disgrace. But I didn't expect to see the person I didn't want to see as soon as I got off the plane. I clicked my tongue impatiently, but Ashley Jenkins had a flattering smile on her face. Will, I'm here to take you home. I turned around, pulled my suitcase, and walked away quickly. In a short while, Ashley Jenkins fell behind and disappeared. I wanted to get in the car myself, but I thought that she had been called over by your mom. If I went back alone, I would be scolded again if I were seen. I took pity on her and waited for Ashley Jenkins at the door for a while, but I saw Ashley Jenkins and another man walking out. And that person was Ashley Jenkins's secret lover, Sean Gallagher. The two of them were walking and pulling each other. Looking at the scene in front of me, my eyes were dark and unclear. I had never seen it with my own eyes in my previous life, but I got to see it in this life. I should have thought of it earlier. Why didn't I learn my lesson? I sneered and got in the car. Back at Sunnybrook Estates, I saw your mom standing at the door from a distance, looking forward to my return. When she saw that I was the only one who came back, your mom's face turned black instantly. Why did you come back alone? What about Jenkins? She's a girl, and you just left her at the airport and came back by yourself. How could I have given birth to such a son without manners? That girl has already made so many concessions. What unforgivable thing did she do to make you so upset? If your mom and your dad knew how Ashley Jenkins treated me in my previous life, they would regret being so eager to match me and Ashley Jenkins together now. But there was no way to tell the things that happened in my previous life. Fortunately, there was now a good REA. Son, I no longer hide it. Ashley Jenkins came to pick me up, but she brought her lover with her. The person she likes is her senior in college. Do you want your son to go up and be rejected? Am I your son? Your mom was stunned by the news. How is that possible? The person Jenkins likes is someone else? She told me, so that's why you. She muttered to herself for a long time. Thinking of my unusual behavior, she still believed me, no matter how much she liked Ashley Jenkins. After all, I was her son, and she knew what kind of person I was, and it would be strange for me to bully a girl for no reason. After figuring it out, your mom smiled awkwardly. What, son, I didn't know she was that kind of person. It was your mom's fault. Come home with your mother. You've been abroad for so long, you haven't had a good meal at home. Mom will cook tonight. That night, I finally felt the long-lost maternal love. Another good news was that after your mom woke up, She directly rejected Ashley Jenkins and didn't even let her into Sunnybrook Estates. But Ashley Jenkins was still unwilling to give up, so she went to the places where I often hung out with my friends to wait for me. My brothers admired her perseverance. Ashley Jenkins is here again today. She looks weak, but how is she so resilient? You can't beat her, so you should come out and have fun. Aren't you bored at home? How could I not be bored? I was so bored at home that I felt like I was growing hair all over my body. After thinking about it, I arranged the party at the Ocean View Club. Ashley Jenkins was somewhat of a neat freak. It was a place she would never set foot in. Hot songs and dances, slender waists, and perky butts. The whole space was full of freedom and vitality. Until a discordant figure broke in, interrupting my interest. Ashley Jenkins seemed to be a lingering spirit, a tribulation I could never escape. Her slender figure walked through the dancing crowd and came to my side. A pair of soft, boneless little hands grabbed my hand, trying to take me away from here with all her strength. But Ashley Jenkins was too weak, and I still didn't move. In the end, she raised her head stubbornly, but her words were full of pleading. Will, give me a chance, let me explain to you, okay? Listen to me, and if you still can't accept it, I'll disappear from your world. Give me another chance, please. There were already tears in Ashley Jenkins's eyes. I had never seen her cry in my previous life. I thought she might be tenacious, or just cruel. But she had truly cried twice in front of me. It was as if she were willing to reveal all her vulnerability to me. That was what I had yearned for in my past life. I didn't want her to be so tired, carrying everything on her shoulders. She could rely on me a little. I am your husband, after all. The Ashley Jenkins before me overlapped with the Ashley Jenkins in my beautiful memories of a past life. I stopped struggling and let her lead me away from the crowd. This is your last chance, Ashley Jenkins. We found a secluded place. But for a long while, Ashley Jenkins kept crying, even trembling, her words fragmented. I waited with the last of my patience for her to compose herself. After a while, Ashley Jenkins calmed down a little. She looked at me with sad eyes and finally spoke. Well, after I died in my past life, my soul followed you. I heard what you said at the tombstone. My mind went blank. Although being reborn was already an unbelievable thing, hearing that Ashley Jenkins' soul had followed me after death still made it impossible for me to believe. How could this be? Unexpectedly, what Ashley Jenkins said next shocked me even more. In my past life, my body was occupied by a strategist from another world, and her goal was to seduce Sean Gallagher. But her progress wasn't ideal, and coupled with my consciousness being too strong, the strategist's control over my body wasn't complete. Every time my consciousness awoke, I had only one thought, to go home and see you one last time. I fought with her for over 20 years, and seeing that her mission was failing, I could come back to you. But at the last moment, she chose to perish together with Sean Gallagher. But only after my body died could I finally be with you forever. In places you couldn't see, I accompanied you every day. I saw your pain, and my heart ached too. I know Ashley Jenkins disappointed you, but I swear the person who hurt you wasn't me. The real Ashley Jenkins will only ever love William Morrison. Ashley Jenkins' words left me unable to calm down for a long time. This was too bizarre. What system, strategist? Then why were we two reborn? The system compensated me for invading my body. So my rebirth was due to a deal between Ashley Jenkins and the system. I stood there stunned, my heart racing. Emotionally, I had accepted her explanation, but rationally, I still couldn't see the Ashley Jenkins of this life and the Ashley Jenkins of my past life as two different people. The pain I had suffered was real. Seeing that I was still unwilling to forgive her, Ashley Jenkins smiled bitterly. As if saying goodbye, she said to me, "This is the last time we'll meet. I only have one last wish. I want to answer the question you asked at the tombstone in our past life. I have never regretted marrying you. Whether it's this life or the last, the only person I've ever wanted to marry is you." Her voice revealed boundless sadness and emotion. Ashley Jenkins traced my figure with her eyes one last time, then turned slowly like a rusty gear, wanting to leave. But this gear suddenly flew off its axle and fell to the ground. A dull thud. I looked up and only saw Ashley Jenkins collapsed on the ground, unconscious. I thought I had already let go of my feelings for her, but my body instinctively rushed to Ashley Jenkins' side. When I opened my mouth, my voice was choked with sobs. Ashley Jenkins, what's wrong? Don't scare me. Why would you be sick? You were so healthy in our past life. No matter how I called out, Ashley Jenkins didn't respond. Her eyes were closed, seemingly trapped in immense pain, unable to break free. At that moment, I knew my heart was panicking. I trembled as I picked her up, as if I were only holding the weight of a gear. Ashley Jenkins was even thinner than the last time I saw her. Something important seemed to be slipping away. My heart ached faintly. Ashley Jenkins suddenly fainted this time and did not wake up for a long time. After being sent to St. Mary's General Hospital, she underwent a series of tests. The doctor told me regretfully that it was late-stage pancreatic cancer. Hearing the doctor's diagnosis, I felt as if I had fallen into an ice cave. My hands and feet were icy cold. I was probably the person who understood this disease best, besides the doctor. Because in my past life, I had suffered from this disease and died less than 3 months after receiving the diagnosis. But how could Ashley Jenkins have contracted this disease? She had always been healthy, at least in my memory for the past 20 years or so, and Ashley Jenkins rarely even had a common cold. In this life, she had cancer and was dying. Was this the price for the system to change our fate? But why was I okay? On the third day, Ashley Jenkins slowly woke up. I had been guarding her bedside, holding her hand tightly. As soon as Ashley Jenkins moved, I immediately woke up. Ashley Jenkins, how are you feeling? I asked anxiously about her physical condition. Ashley Jenkins was tearful. William Morrison, so all of this is true, you have finally forgiven me. I thought I was just dreaming. Her face was pale and bloodless, only her eyes were not empty and weak, but greedily looking at me at this moment. This Ashley Jenkins seemed like she was about to leave me in the next second. I hugged her tightly. It's me who was too stubborn and pushed you away again. And again. This time, I will never do it again. I vented all the anger I had suffered from the fake Ashley Jenkins in my previous life on the real Ashley Jenkins. What was her fault? She was also a victim, watching her body do things against her will. I believe she was in more pain than I was. Ashley Jenkins leaned on me and seemed to fall asleep again. After a long while, she whispered in my ear, William Morrison, I want to go home, take me home. The doctor told me that Ashley Jenkins's physical condition was deteriorating rapidly. 1 month might be an optimistic number, and it was recommended that she stay in the St. Mary's General Hospital to make timely adjustments. But Ashley Jenkins didn't want to waste her last moments in the St. Mary's General Hospital. I took her back to our home from our previous life in Sunnybrook Estates. Ashley Jenkins seemed to have recovered a lot of energy, and her complexion was also a little rosy. But I knew that she was just holding on. Late at night, Ashley Jenkins was in unbearable pain in bed, curling up and trying to adjust her position to relieve the pain. But she knew that no matter what, the bone-deep pain would not leave. She couldn't sleep all night. And I was lying on my side, crying silently, my tears wetting the sheets, but I could only pretend to be asleep and not know. How could I not be sad to see my lover suffering? And I was the one who knew her every symptom best and empathized with her. But as long as the sun rose and the sunlight shone into every corner of the room, we would act as if nothing had happened. Ashley Jenkins would smile and go to the kitchen to make a soup for me. But she was directing, and I was washing and cutting the vegetables. After tasting the best soup, Ashley Jenkins would let me eat all of it. It's so delicious, the soup my wife makes, I want to drink it for the rest of my life. Then I will make it for you for the rest of my life. But our lifetime seemed to be very short. In our previous life, we missed each other. In this life, we cleared up the misunderstanding, but we still had to face the scene of eternal separation. Later, she was in so much pain during the day that she couldn't move. I would hold her in my arms, and we would sit on the rocking chair in the garden. She would close her eyes to rest, and I would tell her about the silly things I did after I fell in love with her at first sight when I transferred to high school. Ashley Jenkins would be amused to the point of coughing. Then she would mysteriously tell me a secret. I thought Ashley Jenkins was hiding a lot of secrets, and she had survived so much. Fortunately, this time, what she said was very light, but also seemed very heavy. I knew about all the things you were secretly doing a long time ago. That's why I couldn't help but fall in love with you. No one else would be so sincere to me like you. Listening to her words, my face was already full of tears. As Ashley Jenkins spoke, she became tired and murmured, "William Morrison, I want to marry you again. I love you so much." I mustered my last will to keep myself from crying out loud and tried my best to say each word clearly. "You are already my wife. I will only have you in this life. I love you." A breeze blew through the branches, taking away the precarious fallen leaves. The fallen leaves swayed and fell to the ground. Ashley Jenkins closed her eyes in my arms and lost her breath. After a long time, I finally burst into tears like a child. Why? Ashley Jenkins and I can't have an ordinary love." I cried for a long time, until my eyes were hallucinating. A strange spot of light slowly diluted from Ashley Jenkins' body and floated into the air. I gently grabbed it. A strange mechanical voice rang in my mind, "Human, let me go quickly. I am on Noble System." Unexpectedly, the system had been on Ashley Jenkins. Then, Ashley Jenkins' death, wouldn't it be? I stared at the light spot fiercely. "Tell me, did why? Oh, you harm Ashley Jenkins? Why did you hurt Ashley Jenkins? Believe it or not, I will make you disappear." The strength in my hand increased a little. It worked, and the system screamed, "I'm wronged. Ashley Jenkins volunteered to exchange health with you. It's just that her body is different from yours, and the disease broke out directly in advance. So Ashley Jenkins sacrificed her health to save me. I couldn't recover for a long time, until an unspeakable pain spread from the bottom of my heart to my limbs. That was the pain of losing a loved one. I was even thinking about whether to just follow Ashley Jenkins and leave." The system's voice rang again. "I'm convinced by you too. One is more ruthless than the other. Okay. I'll lend it to you first. You two have to come and work for me in the next life." "What are you talking about?" I couldn't understand what the system said, and was about to ask more questions. But my mind became heavier and heavier, and the sounds and light gradually drifted away from me. The last thought flashed through, "Am I dead again? I can finally go find Ashley Jenkins." Everything returned to silence. In the darkness, there were noisy voices. My eyes were gradually covered by spots of light. When I woke up again, I was back in high school. The bell rang, and the teacher led me into the classroom. "Classmates, this is a new transfer student who will be studying with you for the next year. New student, say hello to everyone." I was looking for the figure that haunted me in the classroom. Sure enough, Ashley Jenkins was sitting in the third row, still the youthful high school student I remembered. This was our first meeting. She looked up and looked at me with a smile, as if there were only the two of us in the whole world. And there was no one else in my eyes, just looking at her. "Hello, my name is William Morrison. Nice to meet you. If possible, I hope we can be together for a lifetime."